The first word that we have is scatter plot, or diagrama de puntos. So it's a graph used to determine whether there is a relationship between paired data, or un gráfico usado para determinar si hay una relación entre data emparejada. So you could think of paired data as X and Y, or in more concrete terms, you could think of it as something like the amount of hours you study versus the grade that you get on the test. In any case, we're looking at relationships. So something to keep in mind is that for these purposes, relationship or relación is the same as correlation or correlación. So those are words we're going to be looking at more, correlation and correlación. So the first type of correlation is no correlation, or ninguna correlación. So that just means that there is no relationship between X and Y, or no hay relación entre X and Y. What? X and Y. You guys got it. So it just looks like a bunch of random dots on the page, on the graph. So next we have positive correlation, or correlación positiva. And that is when X increases, Y also increases. Cuando X sube, Y sube también. Okay, so on a graph, that's going to look like the points are moving up from left to right. So it's going to look kind of like a positive slope. So next we have negative correlation, or correlación negativa. So when X increases, Y decreases. Or cuando X sube, Y baja. Okay, so that's going to look like a negative slope, and the points will be going down from left to right. Los puntos van a bajar from left to right. Okay? So next we have linear regression, or regresión lineal. So this is an equation that models a relationship between the variables using a line. So es una ecuación que demuestra la relación entre las variables usando una línea. So we're going to see what that looks like in a second. But basically, the line that's going to represent the relationship is a line of best fit. So that's our next word. And the line of best fit in Spanish is la línea de ajuste óptimo. So that's a straight line that's going to come closest to all of the points on the graph. Or in Spanish, una línea derecha que va más cerca de todos los puntos en el gráfico. Okay? So the line of best fit is just going to go as close as possible to all of the points. It's not going to touch all of them necessarily. Right? And the equation of the line is actually going to be your equation of linear regression. So it's in that form, y equals negative mx plus b, right? If it's negative, y equals mx plus b if it's positive. So lastly, we have our correlation coefficient. So the correlation coefficient is a number between -1 and 1. So it can't be higher than 1 or lower than -1. That indicates the strength and direction of the relationship between the two variables. So es un número entre el uno positivo y uno negativo que indica la fuerza y la dirección de la relación entre los variables. Okay? So if it's -1 or 1, then it's going to be a perfect correlation. That means the points have to be exactly on the line. We have to make a perfect line. Pues si es el uno positivo o uno negativo, tiene que ser una línea derecha perfecta hecha por los puntos. Okay, so if it's not a perfect straight line, it's going to be either in between -1 and 0 if it's negative, or between 0 and 1 if it's positive. So that means some sort of decimal or fraction. So it's 0 if there's no correlation, which is just random dots. So that's pretty much it.